in the United States cease to exist? Well, we may be into that in the near future. Here's what we know. According to reports, they are saying that new research is in every single bank in the United States will be closed by 2041. Yeah, we're almost in 2025, so in the next 16 years, we are going to see no banks in the US. But why is that? Well, before we get into that, I want to show you what's happening today. Just look at this. It says major US banks on course to close a staggering 1,000 branches this year. Now, I'm not going to go over the full list because frankly, many people aren't going to care. But why are they closing? Well, let's look into this. It says US banks closed more than 700 branches in the first 9 months of the year, forcing thousands to travel further to access vital services. Bank of America closed the most locations of any bank. They closed, we'll pull that up in just a second. They closed 132 locations between January and September. US Bank followed right behind with 101 branches of their own. Now, this says that US banks closed more than 700 branches in the first 9 months of the year. They're expecting another at least 300. Well, guess what? Many banks are now coming out and saying that they are expecting mass closures. Here's the reason why. They are now anticipating we are going to see anywhere between 2 to 5 banks close every single week for the rest of the year. But there's a huge change that could happen. Okay, huge catalyst. If we see just one bank start to see a bank run where people are going to the bank, pulling all their money out, it's going to create a ripple effect. And I've said this before, currently there's $19 trillion in deposits here in the United States. We have about $122 billion in the FDIC insurance fund. So less than 1% of all deposits are actually insured. Now, I want to show you this. Okay, these are some of the bank closures, right? So Wells Fargo has 92. You can see it right here. Bank of America 132, US Bank 101, Wells Fargo 92, Chase 90, TD Bank 52, PNC 48, Citizen 37, Wood Forest, National Bank 31, Key Bank, Fulton Bank, Capital One, and then others 129. You can see it right here. Anyway. Okay, total of 754 locations have closed in the first 9 months of the year. Now, here's where things get interesting. Why are banks closing? Okay, what is happening? Why are all these banks closing? Well, the reason why so many banks are closing is simple. Number one, we don't need all these banks. You used to need a bank in order to take your money and go deposit it. Now you don't. You can deposit that money through an ATM machine, and having an ATM machine at many different street corners is really simple. You don't need an actual bank with offices and 20 different employees and a lobby and receptionists and bank vaults and all that stuff. No, you will be perfectly fine with the vestibule with a